Hello, this is Mr. Bissonette with another episode of Math in the Classroom. Today we're kind of starting a new trimester here at the school, so we're kind of taking a little step back and doing some of those refreshers. So we have been working on going through our adding, subtracting, multiplying, and dividing with fractions. This episode we'll tackle adding and subtracting with fractions, and then we'll do another episode with multiplying and dividing fractions. So here we go. If we have something like 2/5 plus 3/7. When we are adding fractions, what we have to do is we have to have a common denominator. What that means is that bottom number has to be the same. Now the reason for it, if we think back to the pie, we want to have the same size pieces when we're adding and subtracting them. Another way I explain it to students as we get these common denominators, these are like fractions. They look different, but they're worth the same amount. So this is kind of that idea of 100 pennies versus $1. It looks different than the dollar bill, but it's worth the same amount. So to get that, a lot of times you can multiply your two denominators together to get 35. Sometimes there is a number that's smaller than that, that both of the numbers would go into. My first one that I'm thinking is if we had something like 6 and 15. Instead of just multiplying our 6 and 15, if we look for our least common multiple, this would end up being 30. Both of those numbers go into 30, and we can go there. You can figure that out from the prime factors. We have a 2 times 3, we have a 3 times 5. So essentially we have this common 3, so we could think of it as 2 times 3, which is our 6, times our 5, which is our 30, which is the mathematical way of getting that least common multiple. All right, back to this example. We have our common denominator of 35. I asked myself, what am I multiplying the 5 by to get it to be 35? That's 7. And so that fraction is 7 over 7. Why is it 7 over 7? Because 7 over 7 is 1, so we're not changing the value of this. What we do to the bottom, we do to the top. That's another way to remember it. So 7 times 2 is going to be our 14. And over here, we'd multiply this by 5 over 5. Again, what we do to the bottom, we do to the top to get it to be 35. And 3 times our 5 is going to be 15. Once we're here, the denominator is going to stay the same. So we're going to have 35, and then we're going to add the two top numbers. So we're going to get 29 for this. Before you celebrate, take a moment and look and see if there's anything that can go into the top and bottom number. Luckily, 29 is prime, so I know I'm all done. I don't have to worry about simplifying anymore. Okay. So that's adding fractions. With subtracting fractions, we do the same thing as far as getting the common denominator, and then we're going to simply subtract the top. So if we had something like 3/4 minus 1/6. Okay, what number does 4 and 6 go into? Thinking about that least common multiple, and we're going to go into 12 with that. 4 times what's going to be 12? Well, 4 times 3, so we multiply by 3 over 3. 3 times our 3 is going to be our 9. Over here, we're going to multiply 6 by 2. So we have 2 over 2 to get that. Just like our addition, once we have that common denominator, we just keep the common denominator the same, and we subtract the top number. So 9 minus 2 is going to be our 7 over 12. Again, take a quick little pause. Is there anything that goes into 7 or 12? Both nicely. 7's a prime number, so again, we're all good. We don't have to worry about simplifying. Again, that's Mr. Bissonette. with another episode of Adding and Subtracting Fractions. Thank you.